Beryl continuing to move off to the north and east, and now we're looking at the flooding threat, also tornadoes, especially as we head into the overnight, into Tuesday, maybe even into Wednesday for parts of the northeast. So let's dive into the track. It's still expected to move off to the north and east pretty fast too. That's good news. That means it will be moving along at a decent clip. So flooding, at least the risk starting to go down some. It's not zero, certainly. Flooding on the table with these tropical rains, and our high continues to dominate the weather, by the way, across the west, where it's just baking here. We would take the rain, I guess, right? I mean, it is absolutely scorching in some of these areas. Cool here, where we see on the northwest side of Beryl, more cloudy conditions and temperatures held back into the 60s and 70s. Your severe threat as we head into Wednesday now moving here. I think that's something to watch as that tropical low moves off to the northeast. Again, the GFS from this afternoon, a very similar track to what the forecast is showing there, moving it through parts of Ohio, eventually into southern parts of Ontario. And a lot of moisture is out there with this storm. Precipitable water approaching 1.5 inches, in some cases 2 inches or better. And across the southeast, I want to show you something. As we move through the week, some of these numbers here approaching 3 inches. That's if you squeezed all of the moisture out from the top of the atmosphere to the bottom. So a lot of moisture to work with. So I think we see scattered showers. It may be hard to pinpoint, but the good news is there is some rain on the way for drought-stricken areas. These areas within these lines along the path of Beryl, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain possible. Some areas may not get as much. Some may see a little more. So flooding will be a concern, but tornadoes, I think that is something to keep an eye on through the overnight into early Tuesday morning. And then by Tuesday, late Tuesday morning, that threat begins to shift into northern parts of Arkansas, eventually into Missouri, Kentucky, also parts of Tennessee, even southern Indiana, southern Ohio, southern Illinois. And I don't think we're done here. Once you move into the day 3 time frame, this would likely be expanded. This is just kind of a glance here of the potential for some severe weather, and it would be associated with Beryl. You got to watch, I think, Pennsylvania and parts of New York heading into Wednesday. Let's time some of this out. These feeder bands really pulling in here like this. So as we move through the overnight by 10, 11, 12 o'clock, now our tornado threat moving here, I think even as far south as Louisiana, eventually into Arkansas, possibly northwest parts of Mississippi, and maybe even here into Tennessee late tonight. However, early tomorrow morning, watch these cells here. The good news is the heating of the day, clearly not much of a factor. As we head into Tuesday afternoon, I think we see some sunshine in some of these areas, and as this what's left of a feeder band pulling into this low pressure here. At the surface, your wind's coming in like this, and now you got your upper level winds like this. So a lot of wind shear here. That would cause any of these storms that try to form in what's left of this feeder band to rotate. That could cause a few tornadoes. Now we're into West Kentucky, Illinois, parts of Indiana, also into parts of Tennessee. And look, I dare say, watch out here in that parts of Alabama, maybe even parts of eastern Kentucky and Tennessee. Most of that energy, though, now moving up here into Ohio. So a little bit further east, we'll kind of move this forward ahead in time as we track the storm. There go those big storms heading into the afternoon. Now we're moving into Wednesday. Our low somewhere here. It's really kind of getting disorganized now, falling apart. A decent band of rain on the north side of this. A lot of this up here, not looking severe. You've kind of got that overrunning effect here causing the rain. Your strong storms will be here, I think, as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. Boom, there they go across western PA, western New York, moving through places like Buffalo, Rochester, eventually, I think even parts of the mid-Atlantic from D.C. north into Pennsylvania, and then eventually into parts of eastern Pennsylvania and the rest of New York. Finally, we start to see Beryl kick out as we move into early Thursday morning. Just a few showers left over here into the northeast. Still hot across the west. Another hot one as we head into Tuesday. Triple-digit heat here. Look at these blues. I mean, this is very unusual. 125, 130 possible here in the Death Valley. At least the lowest elevations could push over 130. Insane across the west right now. Triple-digit heat all the way up into eastern Oregon. 110 to 115 possible in the lowest of elevations. And look at this. Really, your Cascades running like this. East and west of the mountains. Triple-digit heat. There is some relief on the way as we move into Wednesday. We're back into the 80s at least, but still pretty hot here, especially east of the mountains where that triple-digit heat very, very close. Across the east, Tuesday is going to be another hot day, a lot of humidity. These numbers will feel even hotter out there. And what I think is interesting is this little area right here across parts of Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, maybe some downsloping flow here, some compressional warming either way, it's going to be a hot day here as we head into Tuesday, also into Wednesday. A little bit cooler up here again with the rain, with Beryl, temperatures in the 60s and 70s. So a lot going on, again, as we track what's left of Beryl moving off to the northeast tonight. Stay safe out there, guys, and I'll catch you next time.